Hey, I'm a little nervous about this video, not gonna lie to you. Do I really want to give up caffeine for a week? Like, no, but I'm going to for your entertainment value, so you're welcome. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Brielle. It is so nice to have you here. As of today, I will not be drinking any caffeinated beverages. That means no matcha, no chai, no lattes for the next 7 days. Now, I would not consider myself a super heavy caffeine consumer in the sense that I don't really have a lot of straight up espresso or straight up coffee. I don't really love it, and I feel like when I have actual espresso, like in a latte, I feel like it gives me a ton of anxiety. So I've already kind of stopped having espresso, but I have matcha or chai or some sort of drink like that every single friggin' day. I don't know whether or not my body is really dependent on it. I know I love it. It is something I enjoy. So in that sense, I know for sure that I'm going to be feeling the effects of this. Before we get into the video, we are going to crack open a drink. I thought a fun little component of this video would be to take this as an opportunity to try out some non-caffeinated drinks that I haven't had before. And I also think kind of the fun of having those drinks in my fridge will compensate a little bit for the fact that I'm missing out on some of my favorite drinks that are a part of my regular routine. All right, this is the drink we're trying today. This is the Rowdy Mermaid Adaptotonic Ashwagandha Blueberry Reishi Mushrooms Immunity Tonic. It's a mouthful. Is different. Did I fuck up the frame? I'm sorry if it looks different. We're gonna taste test this. It's good. It's kind of just like sparkling cranberry juice. I like it. Happy about that. Let's talk about the key performance indicators that I'm gonna be looking out for this week. That was way more businessy than it had to be. But what are the things that I'm gonna be paying attention to? The two biggest things that are sticking out to me, like from where I am today filming this intro, that I think might be interesting to check in on is mood and energy levels. Those are the things that I feel like are most likely going to be impacted. And I'm also curious just to see like if I miss the ritual and the comfort of like these drinks that I love so much. Do I think that that is actually linked to the caffeine in them? No, not at all, but they are sort of kind of linked, right? Like I feel like a lot of us romanticize coffee and it's become this huge cultural thing where I don't even feel like it's about the caffeine as much as it's about like the ritual of like going to your favorite coffee shop or making coffee at home. And so I'm curious if I'm gonna miss that also. But the main two things that I think are going to be most impacted are energy levels and mood. I'm also curious to see if I experience any headaches. I think that might happen just based on the fact that my body probably has built up some sort of dependency or is used to getting caffeine every day. So I'm honestly most nervous about how this is going to impact me on days when I go to the office and, you know, I need to be freaking awake to drive. That's what I'm most worried about, I guess. The rest of the time, I feel like I might just be a little drowsy and in a slightly worse mood. Although this is really freaking good. I might just like buy this now. I mostly got it because of the cute packaging and I thought it'd be cute in a clip. So that is it for the intro of this video. I am starting right now. It is Sunday, November 13th, 2:19 p.m. I haven't had any caffeine today, but I'm marking this as my official starting point. And then next Sunday at 2:19 p.m. will be when I finish this challenge. So I'm excited to see what happens. Stick around if you want to see my inevitable breakdowns. I know I'm being so fucking dramatic. It's literally just for the fun of it, okay? I know that I'll survive. It's just like fun to be dramatic about shit like this sometimes. Cheers to a week of absolutely zero caffeine, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I know I said I would talk to you tomorrow, and I will, but I have a first update. I have a headache. Woo! I noticed like very shortly after I filmed that first intro clip, I am editing the video for this week, which will be last week's video when you're watching this video. That's how I'm spending my Sunday because I like to get ahead on my uploads during the weekends. None of that is relevant to this clip. I'm going to try and eat something, try and drink some water, but on the positive side, I'm really enjoying having this drink and I think it's supposed to be extremely healthy. So that's a positive side to this rather sour first update. Another thing that I'm noticing is that I feel like my brain is a little foggy and not as crystal focused and crystal clear as it usually is, which I have noticed sometimes on days where I don't have caffeine until later in the day, that I will start to feel like this, and that it's just like a little bit harder for me to think as clearly. Even now, like trying to film this update, I feel like it's a little harder for me to be concise or for me to like string things together that make sense because my brain is just a little foggy. So I don't know if that is completely from the caffeine or maybe it's from too much time looking at screens. I don't know for sure, but I just thought that was important to mention here because I do think it might be linked. Also, kind of like a random side note, I know I mentioned in the first intro clip like how societally coffee has been romanticized and how it's a part of my routine that I romanticize, and I've also been thinking like coffee is present in like all of my videos, like not coffee but matcha or chai. I literally even have in my channel description like lots of matcha as part of my descriptor, and I feel like I've kind of owned it and made it part of my personality both in my personal life and on this YouTube channel, so that adds like a layer of like I miss it from that perspective of like it's just something that's so fun for me and something that has really become like a part of my personality, as crazy as that sounds. So I kind of miss it from that lens, and like even the coffee making montages at the beginning of my videos, like that's something that I have so much fun with and that I feel like has really become just like a part of my personality on here and in general. So it does feel a little sad to be missing that little piece of joy in my day-to-day for this week, but okay, bye. I gotta get back to editing and I will actually check in with you guys tomorrow. Cheers again. Welcome to day 2. It is Monday, November 14th. I'm working today. Obviously, it's Monday. If you don't know, I have a 9-to-5 job in the makeup industry. Today was an office day. I went into the office. Normally, on an office day, I would either bring in some sort of caffeinated drink or I would get a drink at work. So we have this really cute little coffee bar at our office. It is such a nice little perk, and I love getting normally like an iced chai from there. And even though I was lusting over the coffee machines when I went in today, I decided to get myself a smoothie, and I thought it'd be, like I've kind of mentioned in this video, a good strategy to kind of use the treat of like getting a smoothie to fill the little void in my heart from not getting my normal caffeine drinks. So that was really nice, and I also treated myself to lunch. That kind of filled the like routine slash fun itch that I had that would normally be filled by me getting some sort of fun coffee. So that was nice. But let's talk about all the other aspects, because a smoothie did not fulfill the need for caffeine in my body. So energy levels, how am I doing? I'm exhausted. Especially like right now, it's 3:00 p.m. Yeah, it's 3:25. This is what I like to call the mid-afternoon slump. It happens to me every single day around 3:00 where I just feel like I have no energy, no will to do anything. And normally I would solve this with a little bit of caffeine, making myself a drink for the moral boost, the physical boost. Okay, so it is 2 p.m. as we speak, and I am hitting what I like to call the mid-afternoon slump. So before we get into like the first work session of this video, I'm gonna make myself a little beverage. I thrive off of drinks. I love drinks. Matchas, chais. If you've literally been subscribed to me for even a day, you know this. Obviously, I can't do that today, so I'm definitely feeling the effects of this challenge right now. I was definitely a little sleepy during my drives, which, you know, isn't great. It wasn't to the point where I was scared or it was dangerous, but I definitely noticed that I was a little sleepy. Something else we said we were gonna track, mood. How is the mood feeling? I would say I'm feeling pretty normal today. Like, I don't feel like absolutely devastated or like something huge is missing in my life by any means, but do I kind of wish that I could go make a pumpkin spice latte right now? Yeah, I do. So overall, I mean, I feel like things are going as good as I kind of expected them to in terms of those aspects, but something that I was not anticipating that I feel like is worse than I imagined is the physical impact, the physical effects of this. Like I mentioned in the day 1 clips, I was not having espresso or energy drinks or any of the like die-hard hardcore caffeine. I feel like Dunkin' Donuts coffees are like another like hardcore caffeine thing where I would expect my body to feel the effects if I hard cut out espresso, energy drinks, or Dunkin' Donuts. I say Dunkin' Donuts because I went through a Dunkin' Donuts phase where I was getting a large Dunkin' Donuts matcha every day and occasionally a cold brew, and I felt like I was addicted then. And I saw my sister go through the same thing with Dunkin' Donuts where she was diehard addicted to caffeine. So I love Dunkin' Donuts, but that's just the tea on that. If you grew up on the East Coast, I feel like you probably finally know, you know. Anyway, that was a sidebar, an unrelated tangent, but because I primarily drink chai and matcha, which are generally considered more low-key forms of caffeine and less caffeine intensive, and I also don't feel like I often feel the blatant effects of caffeine. Like once I have a chai, it's not like I feel like wired and energized and crazy. Like I usually can barely tell anything, so I didn't think I was that physically dependent. And what I'm kind of experiencing kind of tells a different story, because pretty much yesterday and today I've had almost a constant headache. It's not excruciating, it's not debilitating, but it is just kind of this constant ache in my brain, which sucks. Yes, I could take a leave, but I kind of want to monitor it, especially because I am filming this video, so I think it's important to know the physical effects that I'm experiencing. And I did notice that I was shaking a little bit earlier when I was standing by the coffee bar. Is that because of this? I don't know for sure. I would guess that maybe it's correlated. So yeah, that's kind of where things are at now. So in order to get myself out of the afternoon slump, I'm feeling like a bowl of ice cream. Hopefully that little bit of sugar will help me kind of power through the afternoon. I just kind of feel like snacking more this week is inevitable, or at least likely, because I need to fill the void somehow. So I'm gonna go prep that right now and get back to working from home for the rest of the day. We have like a flexible schedule, which is why I was able to drive home at 3 p.m., which feeling very blessed for that. But yeah, that's the update. Day 2, things are rocky, but okay. Yeah, we'll see if things go downhill or if my body kind of adjusts. I honestly have no idea which way this is gonna go, but the things I do for you. Hey, it is time for our day 3 update. To be completely honest, there's not much to report. Not much has changed. I'm still experiencing the same headache symptoms that I was yesterday, which is just lovely. I went to Starbucks this morning with my boyfriend and I got a caramel brulee cream frappuccino, which was actually super delicious and definitely scratched a bit of my coffee itch. I'm definitely missing it. I'm really missing just like going to my kitchen, making myself a little chai, making myself a pumpkin spice latte, a matcha. Definitely missing it. By no means am I like, oh my god, this is life changing. Like I'm gonna totally cut out caffeine after this. No, that's definitely not how I'm feeling. I'm really excited to have it back in my life, but it is really interesting to see that I'm definitely more physically dependent than I thought, because I have quite literally had a steady headache for the last 3 days, and I think it's safe to assume that it is correlated. So hoping that the headache will go away by the end of this challenge. That would be nice. I'm definitely missing the ritual. I'm missing the mood boost, the energy boost. I don't feel like I've had a huge drop in energy in the mornings, but definitely feel like I'm getting more tired in the evenings and afternoons than I normally would. So that's a little update in terms of my energy levels. Okay, talk to you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, welcome back. This is not a day where I would typically film. I made a rule for myself a while ago that like I only want to film on days where I'm genuinely feeling good and I don't have to force it and just my mood is good and all of that. And today's just not one of those days. It was just not the best day in the world, and on top of that I had to get up earlier than usual, so I'm really lucky in the sense that I often get to sleep in because generally my work times are pretty flexible. However, this morning I had to get up at around 7 in order to be at the office at 9, which I know for people who have to get up early consistently that does not sound like a big deal at all, but for me and my body that is not used to that, it was jarring. I felt nauseous this morning and I just felt like shit, and I'm very sensitive to not getting enough sleep. And even though it sucked and I kind of felt like shit throughout the day, and I still kind of feel like shit, and I've been tired and legitimately was like dozing off in one, like not meeting, but like an info session that we had. Like I was dozing. It reminded me back in school when like my head would fall forward because I'd be falling asleep, and that was not fun and I did not enjoy that. But it kind of led to this huge takeaway about this whole challenge that like obviously it is a lot harder to go without caffeine when you are exhausted and when you're not properly taking care of your body in the first place. On a day like today, I would normally fully balls to the wall be like, I need my 3rd freaking latte of the day. Like this would be a day where I would indulge and I would let myself have as much caffeine as I needed in hopes to wake myself up, and that would kind of be a crutch for me to make up for the fact that I didn't get enough sleep. It almost kind of made me realize not having that crutch, how essential it is to be getting enough sleep and to be well rested and functioning well throughout your day, because without the crutch of caffeine, I noticed just how drastically my day like got worse just because I got literally like one less hour of sleep. And like I said, I'm very sensitive to sleep. So for some people, they might be able to go with one less hour of sleep and not be fazed by it, but my body cannot do that. And my body reacts very intensely to just like not getting enough sleep. So it was a huge lesson for me that like, especially while doing this challenge, but just in general, because, you know, I don't want to be reliant on caffeine for getting me through a day. Like I need to, no exceptions, prioritize getting enough sleep at night, because it fucks up my entire day the next day if I don't do that. And so that has been like the big takeaway from day 4 for sure. Pleased to inform everyone that my headache has finally decided to leave us. So that is nice. But yeah, today I was exhausted. I had very little energy, and it was the first day where I was like, not just missing caffeine because I'm like, ooh, a nice chai would be nice today. Like today was genuinely a day where I was like, it would be very useful if I had caffeine at my disposal, but not having it at my disposal is making me realize just how essential it is that I'm taking care of my body from like a legitimate holistic point of view, getting enough sleep, making sure I'm well rested and ready for the day, instead of just trying to cover it up with the bandage that is the energy I get from caffeine. You know, like I want to have genuine energy from sleep and food and taking care of my body, and not just covering everything up by having caffeine. That's that on that. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Hi from day 5. Woohoo! The end is freaking near. Hold on. Today we are trying the Poppy Ginger Lime Prebiotic Soda. I had one of these in my, I think it was my how I brainstorm and plan my content video. I feel really far. I want to come closer. It was okay. I think I rated it like 4 or 5 out of 10. So like don't have the highest hopes for this, but let's try her out anyway. Oh, that's actually really fucking good. Okay, the ginger lime poppy hits. I think the problem is I got like strawberry last time, and I don't know why I thought I would like strawberry soda. That just sounds bad. But lime soda I can get behind. I just love their packaging too. It's so freaking cute. I am the consumer that is so swayed by packaging. I want things to look good in my apartment. And will I slightly sacrifice on performance for aesthetics? Like, I don't want to say that I would, but I might. Anyway, hello, welcome to update day 5. My quick relief from a headache yesterday was short-lived. Headache is back. Let's return to like some of the core things that I wanted to track during this video. Energy levels. My energy is definitely slightly down. It hasn't been as drastic most of the time as I expected, but because of the headaches and the fact that my brain has been feeling a little groggy and foggy, that is what I see as a worse effect than the actual drowsiness that I'm experiencing. So do I feel absolutely exhausted? Am I falling asleep at my desk every day? No, but I definitely don't feel 100%. I don't feel like I can give 100% to the work that I'm doing. I feel like I always have some sort of headache. I'm always a little foggy, and that has been a bigger pain than my lower energy levels. In terms of mood, I definitely feel like not being able to have my usual matcha when I go to a coffee shop and stuff like that is making me a little pissy. It feels like I'm really restricting myself, and it kind of sucks because I'm having to get like random drinks at Starbucks that I would never normally order when I go there to do work and stuff like that. And obviously it's not a big deal, right? But like it does just kind of piss me off just enough for it to put a slight little damper on my day. So my mood hasn't been horrible. Like I don't feel like I'm more irritable or rude or any of that. I feel like I'm my usual kind of happy, peppy self. I'm not experiencing like that no coffee crankiness that I feel like is a stereotype of like, don't talk to me before I've had my coffee. Like I'm not experiencing any of that shit. I'm not being ruder or like irritable because I am not drinking caffeine. However, I am missing it, which is therefore having a slight negative impact on my mood and day-to-day happiness. I've pretty much felt the same all week. I have felt the same sort of symptoms and the same kind of frustration. I feel a lot less motivated to be productive without kind of the resource of being able to have a caffeinated drink. And I just don't feel as, motivated, as like inclined to want to focus and buckle down and get work done as I normally would, which is interesting and not something I was really expecting. I'm going to go drink this ginger lime soda. Not me spilling it on myself. You're joking. I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far, even though it's just kind of me bitching and moaning about something that I literally did to myself. But like, I like doing videos like this on my channel sometimes because I like having like more of a long-term video that I'm filming and doing updates for. I think that's kind of fun. So I've already mentioned this, I think, before on the channel, but next month or the month after, I want to do an entire month of reading only romance books. That's not entirely related to this video, but it is like another more long-term challenge type of thing. I'm really fucking excited for that video. So if you guys have any steamy romance book recommendations, emphasis on the steamy, that's like what I want for this challenge. Definitely let me know in the comments your suggestions because that video is definitely coming up in the near future. And I'm glad that I'm mentioning it because that will hold me accountable to actually filming it, even though it's gonna be quite a hefty project. Okay, I'm done talking now. Bye. Okay, this is Jeff.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
Okay, so I have some questions.
Fire away, baby.
Would you say that I have been complaining about this a lot this week?
Oh my God, you guys. Hasn't shut up about it.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No, you've been pretty good.
Okay.
You've brought it up a couple times. You've definitely brought it up multiple times a day. It's never in like a, oh my gosh, I need caffeine. It's more just, you missing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yes. You're venting.
Would you say that my love for beverages is a part of my personality?
Ooh. I don't know if I would say personality, but I would say it is one of your stronger interests.
Interests. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
As far as what you enjoy buying.
Buying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it.
That's it? What the hell? I did my hair for this?
Okay. One last question.
Okay.
Do you feel like you've noticed any changes in my mood, my energy?
Not really, no.
Nothing?
Nope.
Okay, that's good.
You've been pretty normal.
My normal self.
Yeah, I mean, you don't drink a lot of caffeine.
It's not like I was chugging energy drinks and then
No.
I quit cold turkey.
Yeah, it's just, a matcha or a chai, I don't know, every other day?
Every other day? I would say every day.
2 out of 3 days. There are days that you go without it.
Is there though? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hello from final check-in time. It is Sunday, November 20th, which means that I've officially gone without caffeine for an entire week. So you know what time it is? Yep. Pretty much everything I had to say was said in the updates. But just as a very quick recap, let's go over some of the symptoms that I experienced this week. In my week of no caffeine, I suffered from headaches, decreased energy, especially at the afternoon and night, inability to function on less than 8 hours of sleep, decreased motivation and drive to be productive, and general crankiness about my inability to drink caffeinated beverages. So yeah. Like I said throughout this video, I was surprised by the amount of physical symptoms and reaction that I had to going without caffeine. I am pleased to report that in the last 2 days of this challenge, so day 6 and day 7, I didn't film an update on day 6 for a couple reasons. There wasn't much to say other than what I had already said in the previous updates, and I just wasn't feeling up to it, to be completely honest. But day 7, we got that lovely little update with my boyfriend, but both of those days I was completely headache free, so I feel like my body had adjusted by then to not getting daily caffeine. And now I'm putting it back on. So I detoxed for no reason. But I am really excited to have it back, especially because this next week I have a ton of work to do. And to be quite honest, I would have been nervous going into this week if I still was doing this cleanse. Filming all week was actually really fun, and I liked doing these updates and talking to you guys every day. So I appreciate you guys so freaking much. Thank you so much if you stuck throughout this entire video. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. It really, really helps out my channel, and it also just brings me a lot of joy. And I will see you later this week for my December monthly reset routine. As always, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow.